Good morning children, welcome to today's class. So today we are going to start our new chapter children, laws of motion. So in this laws of motion, actually we are going to learn about the three important laws of Newton's first law, Newton's second law and Newton's third law. These three laws will be called as Newton's laws or laws of motion. So before going to know about these three important laws, here we will go for some small introduction children. So you can open your textbooks and you can observe here. We observe the changes in motion of many objects around us. We discussed the concept of velocity and acceleration in the chapter of motion. So in chapter of motion means in previous chapter we discussed about the velocities, acceleration and deacceleration, and what is speed and what is average speed, velocity and everything. So philosophers of the ancient world were very much interested in the study of motion. So one question attaining their mind was, what is the natural state of the object? What is the natural state of an object if it is left or itself? Okay, if the object is left itself, so what is its position? Actually the rest position. Okay, so our common sense tells us every moving object on earth, if it is left free for some time, gradually comes to rest by itself only. After some time, if it is a moving object or if it is in rest also, after some time it will be rest itself only. Okay, so our common sense tells that every moving object on earth, if it is left free for some time, gradually comes to rest. So what happens if you stop pedaling your bicycle? It slows down gradually and stops finally. So we wanted to know about that. Aristotle, he is a very famous physicist children. So Aristotle, the great philosopher of the time, also concluded that the natural state of an atom, an earthly object, is to be rest. Not only not atom, any object, it should be completely rest only. So he thought that the object at rest requires no explanation, as any moving body naturally comes to rest. So Galileo gave birth to Galileo gave birth to modern science by starting. Sorry for the interruption. Galileo gave birth to modern science by stating that an object in motion will remain in same motion as long as no external force is applied on it. So Galileo also given an interesting theory children about the objects. So here you see, so gave birth to modern science by stating that an object is in motion. If the object is in motion, it will be remains in same motion only up to which position it will be in same motion whenever we didn't apply any external force on that. Okay, any external force. If you are not applying any external force, what is the initial position of the object is that should be in the same position only. Okay, if you are applying any external force on any object, so that should be comes to rest. If the object is in rest, it will be moves. Okay, so if it is in movement, if it is in motion, it will be comes to rest. So Galileo came up with two ingenious thoughts experiments. He did his experiment, here you see, on inclined plane with a smooth surface, and observed that the smoother of the surface also, the farther the ball traveled. He extended his argument and concluded that the surface was perfectly smooth, the ball was traveled indefinitely until encountered by another object also. Here in the figure you can see children, very simple logic here. See figure 1a, you see one ball is traveling on one inclined plane, and okay, so one ball is traveling on the inclined plane and it should be traveling from some up to down. So whenever the object is traveling from up to down, gradually the speed of the object will be getting increases because of the gravitational force. Because of the more gravitational force, whenever the object is traveling from some height to low, means some up to down, the speed of the object will be getting increases, means the ball will be very quickly, very fastly comes to down. Okay, in 1b, figure 1b, you can observe when the object rolls up, means an inclined plane, when the object is moving from down to upwards. Okay, when the object is moving from down to upwards, here you see the speed will be decreases. The speed will be decreases. Now let us assume why the speed will be decreases, because we have to give some external force to move the ball from down position to up position. Down to up, if you want to send the ball, we have to give some external force. So if you are not giving any external force to that object, the speed will be, because of the less speed of the object, it moves very slowly. Okay, and figure 1c you can observe. So there is no inclined plane, the ball should be moves on the smooth surface. The ball is moving on the smooth surface. If the ball is moving on the smooth surface, there is no increase and there is no decrease in their speeds, because that is the smooth surface, and there is no need to give any external force to the object also. It will be very constantly, the object will be moves on the smooth surface up to there is no external force on that. Okay, so this is the experiment done by the Galileo to know about the position of the object whenever the object is in rest. Okay, so here you can observe, children, by these experiments Galileo came to a conclusion which was in contrast to Aristotle believed that the natural state of the object is at rest only. So the finally the natural state of any object is rest. Okay, so Galileo observed that as shown in figure. Here another one experiment done by the Galileo. Here you see, children. So Galileo observed that as shown in figure 2a, the marble released from its initial height rolled down due to the force of gravity and then moves up to the slope until it reaches its initial height. Then he reduced the angle of the upward slope and did the same experiment as in the figure 2b. Here you see in the figure 2a and 2b you can observe figure 2a and 2b. Here you see, children, there is one slope and means some angle is there between the two inclined planes, and from the two inclined planes if you observe, so one ball is in figure 2a, one ball is moving from one side of the inclined plane, and after some time very quickly, because of the more gravitational force, it will reaches to the end point, and finally again it has to move to upwards. Okay, it has to move upwards, but whenever the object has to move upwards from the down position, the speed of the object will be getting decreases. And in the picture second B you can observe, again here also ball is moving from one inclined plane of the one side. After some time the ball will be reaches to its down position, and after that down position again it has to move to upwards. You can observe the arrow marks, children. Okay, so whenever the ball will be coming to that down position, here we can observe the changes in their angles. Figure 2a and 2b, you can observe the angles changes. So because of the more angle which will be present in 2b position, because of that one, the ball will be moves little bit greater than the position of the ball in 2a. Okay, so because of the more angle will be present in between the 2b inclined planes, so the ball will be moves little bit greater, but the distance which has to be traveled by the ball will be getting increases because of the more angle. Because of the greater angle in 2b, the ball has to travel more distance when compared to 2a. Okay, dotted lines you can observe, children, 2a and 2b. So in 2a, the distance between the two upper positions will be less when compared to the distance between the two upper positions of the 2b inclined lines. Okay, so because that should be because of only the more angle present between the two inclined lines in 2b figure. So here we can observe, children, and when coming to 2c, so here there is no any angle between the two inclined planes, here we have only one inclined plane and one smooth line is there. So whenever the ball will be started to travel from the upper portion of the inclined plane, when it coming to the down position and there is no any angle, there is no any inclined plane, so it has to move to be on the smooth surface only. So there is no matter about the angle and there is no matter about the upper portion of the 2 points of the inclined lines also. So it can move very with the constant speed also. Okay, so here you see, then a question should be arise here. What is that question will be, how far must it have to move to reach the same height if it has no slope to go up? So since it has no slope to go up as shown in figure 2c, obviously it would keep on moving. It should be keep on moving because there is no any external force and there is no any force also. So he concluded that the natural state of moving object, if it is free of external influences, is uniform motion. Okay, the final conclusion will be given by the Aristotle and Galileo was the natural state of moving object. The natural state of moving object is what is the natural state of the moving object? If it is free from any external forces, it should be keep moving. It should be keep moving. If the object is at rest, the natural state of the object is in rest only. If the object is in natural motion, the final position of the object is motion only, the same motion up to any external forces will be influenced on that. Okay, so finally Galileo imagined a world where there is no friction, but as we learned from previous classes, that is not possible in reality. So because friction which affects the motion of the object plays an important role, the friction will be plays very important role on the natural states of the objects. If it is in rest or if it is in motion also, the friction will be very important thing and it will plays the key role. Okay, so for example, if there were no friction, we could not be able to walk on ground, we would not able to be stop a fast moving car, etc. Okay, we already know these all in previous classes. So it is very difficult to perform many physical activities without friction also. So built upon ideas primarily developed by the Aristotle and Galileo, Sir Isaac Newton proposed. So by using these two important phenomena of the Galileo and Aristotle, here we are going to know about the Newton's proposed theories. Those will be called as the laws of motion, children. So these laws of motion are Newton's laws of motion. Here we have mainly 3 Newton's laws: first law of motion and Newton's second law of motion and third law of motion, and with more examples also they are given very clearly. So Newton's first law of motion will go for the next class, children. Okay, so this is the introduction for this class. So Newton's first law will go for the next class. So before that, so we completed the first chapter, children, motion. So for that we have to start writing the CW also, and for your CW you have to take the 200 pages white notebook. So first page should be used for your details and second page you have to write the index, and from the third page onwards you have to start writing, children, your CW. You should start do that one very neatly and draw the margins, 4 sides margins, and unit number, chapter name, day and date, everything you have to know what we have to how you have to write. And keywords also, in the first chapter you have to write the keywords, children. First chapter you have to go for the keywords also. So what are the keywords and what are the questions we have you have to write, those all I will send you message to you again. So those you have to observe carefully, and you should follow the instructions and start writing the CW. Each and everyone should have the books, children, should buy the books. Okay, so our syllabus will be continue. So each and everyone should have the books and should start writing the CW clearly. And how to write and what are the questions you have to write, I will send you to the I will send you by the message in this class only. After this class I will send the message to you. Follow that one.